Hello everyone and welcome to Speechless, a group for those with Spasmodic Dysphonia. My name is Melanie and I wanted to really thank all of you for being here. You know, there are some of you in the group who have been living with Spasmodic Dysphonia for 20, 25, 30 years. I want to really acknowledge you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for not giving up, for continuing to be open to something different. That's a long time. So thank you. I'm really, really grateful. There are those of us, you know, if it's only been a few years, there are some of you who you may have just recently found out. And I know for me, when I started really researching on the internet and going on YouTube and trying to get as much information as I could, it wasn't very positive. And then a lot of people who had made videos, even like myself, there weren't a lot of follow-ups. There are a couple with follow-ups that are, you know, that are uplifting, things that have actually worked. But I just thought, gosh, it's really time to create something different. And so I know there's a few different Spasmodic Dysphonia groups, and I know many of you came from another Spasmodic Dysphonia group that I posted in. And for me, I would really like for us to create a space here that really works for us. It's really conducive for us to get the support and the tools and whatever is required, so that regardless of, you know, how your voice is sounding, and yes, you know, definitely sharing different techniques, different tools, different treatments that work with fit, like really actually the sound, you know, of our voices and our ability to project and actually be speaking with people. And then also looking at, right, well, when that is happening, how can we actually have more ease with it? How can we even, I dare even ask, have some fun with it? And what I've noticed in my practice and working with people who have other conditions, adding in the element of playfulness can really be supportive. And I've noticed for me, you know, especially when I was really first losing my ability to speak, not being able to talk on the telephone, you know, certainly not making a video like this, pretty much stopped creating my entire business, which was all about being able to speak and communicate with people. I just started getting like more depressed, and the more things that I read online, the sort of more hopeless, you know, it even became. And I get it doesn't have to be that way. So even when my voice does start breaking up pretty dynamically, there are things that I do to just have a lot more fun with it. And it makes my whole life a lot easier, regardless of the perfection of my voice. So even when I'm speaking to you right now, like, most likely you're able to understand all the things that I'm saying. But it's not perfect. And this is actually a pretty good talking day right now. I made a couple of videos that I didn't like, so I've been talking for a little bit, so, you know, my voice is a little bit tired. But all in all, I'm like, success. The words are coming out of my mouth. I'm pretty happy about that. But one of the things I really had to let go of was getting to speak perfect. And then when I am imperfect, I'm like, how much fun can I have with that imperfection of my voice? Throw in an accent, because when I do an accent, I don't know, nothing ever happens. I'm able to just be speaking however I would like to. So. And I don't know exactly what accent that was, but I've even done it in public when I'm ordering a coffee or ordering at a restaurant and just having a good time with it. And I let people know. It becomes a really cool way to open up a conversation with people too. It's just saying, hey, you know what, I have difficulty speaking sometimes. I have Spasmodic Dysphonia. You probably have never heard of it, but my voice goes kind of in and out. But when I talk in an accent, it works. So today I'm going to be a Southern girl. So then I'll start using the Southern accent. I'll say, you know what? I'd really like some of that iced tea you have. Anyway, the only reason I even bring that up is to just bring in a different energy of a lightness and a playfulness that you can have with it, because that's something I do not see very much out in the world. And in the other Spasmodic Dysphonia group, there was a young woman who has SD. And she made a video of herself that she posted in the group, and she was rapping and singing the song from Moana. And I was like, I am so grateful to be seeing this right now, because there seems to be so little playfulness and upbeatness, you know, when we're talking about Spasmodic Dysphonia. It's a lot of and things that aren't working or the difficulty of it, and there is room for that also. But I would also like to invite playfulness and fun to it also. And so that's going to be part of this group. And it's for everyone, whether you want to use any of the techniques that I'm going to share with you that I'm using right now, and that I use in my day-to-day life. Fantastic, you don't have to. If you're someone who really just wants to stick with the Western medicine approach, fantastic, do it. How can we support you? How can we have a blending of whatever really works for you? For me, I am willing to do anything. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And if it means being silly and playful and lighthearted, not taking myself seriously, and also maybe saying things that people don't want to hear. That's been a big one for me, actually. I was really filtering what it is that I was saying. And the less that I'm filtering, the easier it is for me to actually be speaking. So I'll get more into that in other videos. I don't want this to be too long. But I'm going to be putting things in here that may not be related to spasmodic dysphonia. That might just be something that really inspires me and makes me go, wow, it makes me ask the question in my own world that I've been asking for the last 2 years. What's right about spasmodic dysphonia that I'm not getting? And I know that may be a tough question, especially for those of you where it's really challenging right now. And sometimes in my most challenging moments, I certainly didn't want to hear that question. So I get it. But maybe somewhere when the clouds part a bit in the heaviness and the frustration of this condition, because I know I've been there, you may just allow yourself to toy with the question of what is, among everything else that it is. Is there a gift somewhere in this? And this is a question that I ask in every area of my life, and as a life coach, and the work that I've done with other people and whatever physical disease they had, or whatever it may be, severe trauma, severe abuse. Do you actually begin to ask the question, even though there is all this other, what is right about this? If there was a gift in this, what would it be? And the more that I've been open to asking that question, the easier it's gotten. The more aware I become of different techniques that I can use to practice with. The more I'm willing to use them and practice them. So I'm going to leave you with that for right now. And I'm going to be putting some tips and tools in here for you to play with. I'd love to hear what's working for you guys. But that's just a little introduction to me and to knowing this group might be a little bit different. And if there are things that inspire you out in the world, that really to put a smile on your face, that uplift you, that put that extra enthusiasm and energy in your body to where it's easier for you to be in your life with spasmodic dysphonia and everything else, post it. How can we inspire each other? I know for me, if I didn't have spasmodic dysphonia, there's no way that I would know what it's like. No way. And people go, oh yeah, I've lost my voice for a month or whatever, I get it. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of them to try to relate. But quite honestly, you absolutely have no idea unless you actually live with it. Especially, some of the frustrations, as we all know, with one day it's easy to speak, one day it isn't, and the nonsensicalness, and a lot of unanswered questions about what is this, and what is the treatment, and what I've noticed with every single person that I work with ever, through my career of working with people in the area of change and transformation. Like, usually things change in a way that's really unexpected, in a way that you wouldn't have imagined it showing up. And by asking those questions myself of what's right about this and choosing to go, all right, what's the gift in this? As frustrating and as everything else, if there is something that is a gift in this, please, universe, let me know. And by changing my point of view and shifting my point of view to one that's looking for the gift of it, that's looking for the possibility, I've had a world of change. Not only with my ability to speak, but quite honestly, I've had to make changes in my life. I've had to step up and into my life in different ways that I wasn't willing to do until I literally became speechless and realized that I was going to really have to do something radically different if I were going to be able to keep living my life. Because the way that it was actually not really a life worth living for me. And after that being a serious pondering question for a period of time, I chose to live, and I chose to do whatever it would take to change. Whatever I had to look at, whatever stone needed to be unturned, whatever practice or exercise or technique it was going to take. I was willing to follow my awareness and open up to doing whatever it was, no matter how vulnerable or difficult it was going to be. And what I've noticed is that it's absolutely worth it, and it continues for me. There are still areas of my business that haven't been stepping into because my voice is so unreliable, and also concerned with the imperfection of it. So more about that later. And I would love to hear more from you. If you would like to post a video, please do so. If your voice is perfect or imperfect, what would it take for you to just show up imperfectly, say hello, let us hear your beautiful and perfect voice? And how can we be stretching ourselves together in a group of people who get it, right? And what I've noticed too is, are you willing to share your voice when it isn't broken? Because I've noticed people make comments sometimes when people have spasmodic dysphonia, and it actually came up for me too. I thought, I can't start a group like I'm speaking too well. People won't believe that I even have it. I mean, you're still able to hear parts of it, and today's a pretty good speaking day. But I'll notice some people will say, well, you don't sound like you have spasmodic dysphonia, which I think is, a person that isn't very well informed about how spasmodic affects people and affects people different. So I want you to feel comfortable making a video or sharing with us when you're having a wonderful speaking day and it doesn't even sound like you have spasmodic dysphonia at all, and also those days where it might be challenging. And I would love to be able to be with you and support you on all of those days. So again, thank you all for being here. We are the creators of this group. So what would we like it to be? What support would you like to have? And let's make it. I do have a question for you if you've made it all the way to this point of the video. Right now, I've only been allowing people into the group who actually have spasmodic dysphonia or have like a spouse who has spasmodic dysphonia but isn't on Facebook. But there are a number of speech pathologists that are requesting to be in the group. So I would like your feedback. This is your group. This is our group. Would you like it to be a group where there are only people with spasmodic dysphonia, or would you like to invite speech therapists and other people into the group as well? So let me hear your messages in the comments below. Make your vote. Make your vote. That was voice and vote together. Make your voice heard. Let me know what you like. We'll take a vote. We'll see what the majority of you would like to do with that. All right. Thank you all for being here. I look forward to getting to know you. All right. Have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you real soon.